This is a copy of Mein Kampf, which of course is Hitler's seminal work, which he wrote in 1925, 1926. And it's basically an autobiographical work where he describes the formulation of his political ideology based on anti-Semitism and anti-socialism. When it was first published in the 1920s, it didn't receive a great deal of attention. But later, as he rose to political prominence in the 1930s, it was republished and became pretty much a bestseller. After Hitler's death, and at the conclusion of the Second World War, the Bavarians imposed a copyright ban on Mein Kampf, so that it couldn't be published or imprinted in Germany for 70 years, and that's a copyright ban which has just been lifted quite recently in 2016. So more recently there have been a lot more new editions of Mein Kampf have been published. Those copies which are rare and which have a provenance which goes back to Hitler, probably signed by him or something like that, are sought after by collectors and can exchange hands for tens of thousands of pounds. This is a much more modest edition, although an interesting one because it's the first unabridged edition published in English. This was published by Hurst and Blackett in London in 1939. This was a rather sorry copy originally. It was the binding had become very loose. The spine had split down the sides, and so it's undergone a fair amount of restoration. The book was disassembled, taken to bits, and the text block had the original spine linings removed and replaced with fresh. The original boards reattached, and then a new spine fitted in a strong book cloth which matches the original cloth. And then in order to maintain some of the integrity of the book, the original spine has been overlaid on top of the new spine, even though it's very faded and it's actually very difficult to read the title on the spine there. So books, particularly from this period, which were made and produced in cheap publishers' bindings, have tended not to last very well. Just sitting on a bookshelf, they're subject to various agents of degradation. This book may well have been kept in a room which was heated by a coal fire. Acid fumes from burning coal seriously attack the exposed spines of the books. General atmospheric pollution drifting in through the windows can have the same effect, and strong sunlight coming from outside could also cause the degradation of the binding. So, although this is a controversial book, the contents are in many ways considered offensive. Nevertheless, it's a book which has quite an important part in history, and so we decided that this edition was worthy of some conservation.